Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Tuesday, October 1st, and the energies in the day adds up or reduced to number 1 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to the month of October, so we're finally in the month of October. And I'm saying finally like the year was dragging along so slow. I don't think so. I feel like time seems to just be moving right along. And when it comes to October, so October is the 10th month. And with October being the 10th month, the number 1 energy deals with new beginnings. The 0 next to it amplifies that number 1 as it is possibilities align with that new beginning. So when you think of the number 1 energy, think of a thought. And when you think of the 0 next to the number 1, it's like possibilities is the 0. So think of 0 like an egg, like a cosmic egg or something. So the 1 is an idea and the 0 is possibilities based on that idea. So when we come to the month of October, the month of October brings me to the thought of possibilities, lots of possibilities. It brings me to optimism. It brings me to ideas. It brings me to the masculine energy of the number 1, where it's like we're being identified, being identified big time when it comes to the physical world around us, the tangible things around us, identified so much to where we might define ourselves based on our status, our titles, the things we own, and what people think about us. So we're in an 8th year. We're in the year 2024, and 2024 adds up and reduces to number 8 vibration. So with us being in a 10th month in an 8th year, so being in an 8th year, within an 8th year, the number 8 deals with systems and cycles. The number 8 deals with authorities. The number 8 energy for me is one where it's like we are observing the systems and cycles within our lives, and we ask ourselves, do we want to take this system to the next level, or do we want to end it completely and create space for something else? October 2024 adds up and reduces to number 9 vibration. With that number 9 energy, this is a month where a lot of us are going to be making up our minds to step away from certain things, where September is where you weigh the pros and the cons. So like say September was the month where you're like, okay, am I going to go for my master's, or is my bachelor's enough? And say if you decided in September that you're gonna go for your master's, then October is when you're doing the paperwork or doing whatever to close out and open up the gate for your new cycle. Say for example, in September, you decided that, you know what, I don't want to keep doing this lash business. I don't want to keep doing the lash business. I enjoy doing lashes, but I really want to get more into like the tattooing of the eyebrows, because I enjoy that so much more, and I just feel more comfortable with that. And in September, you weighed out the pros and the cons, and you decide that, yeah, I want to scrap the lash business. October now would be the month where you probably put everything on sale if you didn't put everything on sale in September. So you put all your products on sale and you're selling everything out as you're clearing out your inventory and making space to enter into the new business. Or October is the month where you start, you may have signed up for classes in September. In October, you're clearing everything up from the old business to get into the new one. September, you decide that, I can't do this. I can't keep living here. I can't do this relationship anymore. I can't do this friendship thing anymore. I can't be a part of this group anymore. You look at the cycle of you take a closer look at the cycle that you're a part of when it comes to this relationship dynamic, this friendship, this connection. And then when we get into October now, you're, putting in your resignation, you're closing the door, you're letting it be known, because when we get into November energy, November brings in new beginning energy. But the new beginning energy, so when it comes to this, the eighth, being in an eighth year, keep in mind that this cycle that you're doing between last month and this month, this cycle is going to reoccur again within next year, but in a major way, because it's not until we get into the year 2026 is when we see the reality of what the world really is. That's when, we see a reset, or the starting of a reset in new energy between 2026 and 2027. So whatever it is that we're doing now, we'll be redoing it again. So for those of you who have made major changes within your life, and there's this space in your world and you're waiting for something to activate or something to happen, just be patient, as in it's just not time. So yeah, being in October 2024 is a month where we are pretty much wrapping things up. This is, like I said, the person handing in their resignation letter. This is filling out the paperwork for bankruptcy. This is doing, filling out the paperwork to relocate. This is where we decide that we're wrapping things up, we're putting things to an end. And then there's some of us this month that will experience major turbulence as the ending is happening without us, where it's like some things are wrapping up and, there's this fear of the unknown, but things are happening anyway. So you're just being dragged into the next place. It's like, imagine you renting a space and you're told the move out date is, the move out date is when the move out date is. And being dragged along to me looks like some people coming in and just tossing your ish outside. And they don't care how it gets outside. It's just their job to get it outside. Where imagine if you embrace the changes that are happening in your world and you decide to take control of your situation and protect your things and get them to the next level, get them to the next space. So that's how I see, being dragged, opposed to aligning yourself with the energy you feel where you're being pulled towards, and you allow yourself to go, opposed to being dragged there. So when it comes to today, October 10th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduced to number 1 vibration. Today's energy is filled with so much masculine energy, with the 10th of the month and then the 1 of the day, and then the energies in the day adding up and reducing to the number 1 vibration. And then Tuesday is ruled by Mars energy. So we have Mars energy in the building, and good thing Mars is in Cancer, but not necessarily good thing, where it's like, say there's a situation where, you're dealing with big ego. It's raining outside really, really hard, so you might be able to hear it. Hopefully it's soothing, if anything. So let's say with Mars in Cancer, people are flexing their egos, but they're acting like they're not. It's like gaslighting vibe to a certain extent. They're certain their power, but they're acting like they're not. And, with Cancer energy, similar to Scorpio energy, by the time you really see their power or their force is probably too late. With the 1 energies in the day, there's lots of ideas, colorful, vibrant ideas. The number 1 energy brings in new beginnings. So thinking about, visualizing, dreaming about these new beginnings and possibilities, this energy is very beneficial for that. So you want to write it down. Write down your thoughts, write down your ideas, because right now, it's just an idea until you put it in motion, and every day you get up and put one foot in front of the other to make it into something tangible. When it comes to the tarot, we have the swan come out. And with the swan energy, I think of the water aspect to it, but then I also think of the winged aspect to them. So for me, this is like a combination of like water and air. And with this being a combination of water and air, for me, it brings me to reflecting on emotions. Like I feel like when it comes to today's energy, today's a perfect day to kind of like check yourself type of vibe. Check yourself, check in with yourself, check on yourself, but it comes back to you type of vibe. So I think of like, say today's vibe is like, say something's challenging me, frustrating me, or pissing me off. Instead of making it about the person and allow them to come and dominate my world and make it about them, instead, what are they trying to teach? What is this encounter with them trying to teach me? How is this encounter with them trying to empower me? And for me, when it comes to my encounters with others, mostly challenging ones, they always bring my power back to me because it teaches me different things about myself. So, you know, with the swan energy, that's something when it comes to today's energy. What is this moment teaching you about yourself? We have, so when it comes to the tarot, we have the 9 of Swords in the upright position. For me, with the 9 of Swords in the upright position, it brings me to overthinking about something. And for me, when it comes to this, and then us being in, you know, the month and energy in the month, adding up to number 9. So with this energy here, like say for example, someone is in a situation and say for example, someone's in a situation and months are passing and they're barely breaking even when it comes to, you know, the money coming in to pay their bills and whatnot. And every night they're up in bed and they can't sleep because they're nervous about the worst case scenario that can happen about them not being able to take care of their bills or responsibilities. But it's like they're noticing what's happening, but they haven't owned like the reality that this is really happening. And I feel like what could be beneficial for today's energy and this happening is like, say someone sitting down and owning the reality of the situation. So what that would look like to me is like, say a person comes to the realization, okay, it seems like my income isn't enough to pay for my lifestyle. And it's like recognizing that that is a concern, that is an issue, because to me here, a person is just stuck on that part of it and just wanting things to be better. But then imagine taking it to the next level and a person saying to themselves, okay, how long will I be able to keep things up for if this is the way it is? And if this is the case, like, you know, instead of having a 3-bedroom house, maybe I need to downsize to a 1-bedroom apartment for some period of time until I'm able to save up some more money, until I'm able to get my business off the ground. But to me, with this energy here, it brings me to acknowledging what the threat is, and then sitting down and brainstorming with all this number 1 energy and coming up with a solution. Because once you come up with a solution, then we get to the 10 of Swords, and you'll be able to put that behind you, put that aspect to rest, put it behind you and start anew. So, you know, I think of the person that says, yes, you know, this lifestyle, you know, it's too much. Okay, I could supplement my income by doing this, that, or the next on the weekends. And from doing this, that, or the next on the weekends, that's really going to, you know, help me to be able to afford this, that, or the next and make things a little bit easier. It's raining outside, so maybe you guys could hear the rain. Hopefully it's therapeutic. It might be thundering and thunderstorming soon also. But yeah, this brings me to someone having a hard time sleeping. And when I go back to the swan energy combined, it brings me to just that, taking a closer look at your situation. So look at how you're feeling with the emotions of the swan. Reflect on your feelings. Are you sad? Are you anxious? What are you feeling? And then the mental aspect of the swan, to me, brings me to pulling out a paper and a pencil and writing things down and coming to the root of the situation. So it's like, instead of just worrying every night about, like, you know, losing this home or losing this car, okay, this is the fact of the situation. If this keeps happening, this is what's going to happen. What can I do? What are my options? You know, what are my options? Do I downsize or do I get a better job? Do I bring in roommates or do I get a smaller place? It's like, to me, the more time we spend in this energy, the more time is wasting and the more our options are being limited. Where the sooner we accept the reality of our situation, the sooner we're able to get ahead of it and create a new reality, opposed to like being a certain, you know, opposed to you ending up in a situation that's a circumstance of your situation, where it's like, it feels like there's still time to get ahead of it, is what I'm getting with this energy. And with all the number ones within the day, it brings me to using this brainstorming energy, not necessarily to take action, but to write things down. And with us being in the 9th month, honestly, to me, things are shifting anyways. So it's a matter of accepting this ending of a cycle that's coming in and embracing it. So say someone's going through a cycle that's ending, where it's like, you got to downsize from this 5-bedroom house that you live in, and you got to downsize to a 3-bedroom because that's all you really need when it comes to the size of your family. It's thunder and lightning outside. I already said that. So in case of, you know, instead of, you know, struggling to keep up this 5-bedroom house, you know, you might realize that everything is pushing you to downsize to something smaller for a peaceful life. Because if you downsize to something smaller for a peaceful life, you can get ahead of things and make a transition that allows you to have more money in your pocket and in a better situation, or ignoring the situation and then get into the position where you're forced out of your situation. Then you have nothing, and then you're forced to get into a situation, opposed to, you know, accepting the reality of what is and being able to choose something better, is what I'm getting when it comes to these energies. So it's like, you know, with the swan, again, pay attention to your emotions and how things are making you feel. And like I said, with the swan, because it's a winged animal, even though it deals with water, you know, I mentioned the importance of bringing in the mental aspect, the thinking aspect to the emotions. And this is what's happening, where this person is up worrying, opposed to accepting the reality of a thing for what it is, and then strategizing, coming up with a solution, coming up with other ways of making their situation better, opposed to just like up worrying, like, I'm gonna lose this thing or the next. Okay, the fact is, if things keep going the way it's going for this amount of time, I am gonna lose this, that, or the next. What am I gonna do about it? How can I get ahead of it? How can I redirect my situation? When it comes to the month of October, I feel like that's, you know, for a lot of us, that's some of the things that we could be reflecting on. How could I get ahead of this situation? You know, how can I get ahead of this situation? How can I create a plan that's going to, you know, secure me and my family so that I could weather this storm? Whether this storm lasts for, you know, a few months or for the next 2 years, as the world itself transforms and there's some kind of a reset within the energy, and we're, you know, experiencing a different reality. But with the energies, yeah, it's time for us to own the reality of what's happening and get ahead of things and come up with a plan that is within our best interest, and, you know, not worry about like what everybody else thinks. What are people gonna say? You know, who gives a damn what anybody gotta say? It's your life. Like, who cares what they gotta say? You know, I find that for me, when I stop caring what people have to say, like, life is just so much more free. Like, I can't be shamed or embarrassed. Like, a person can't make me shame or embarrassed if I'm not ashamed or embarrassed. And I feel like when it comes to being ashamed and embarrassed, it comes down to how you choose to see a thing and why you choose to see a thing the way it is. For me, because nothing is new under the sun and life just happens, being shamed or embarrassed or worrying about what other people think is just a waste of energy. It's a waste. It's just a waste of energy. It's a waste of energy when you dig to the root of the words being shamed or embarrassed, it's like you're giving your power to other people. Like, in order for me to be shamed or embarrassed, I would have to give my power to someone else and matter what they think, why I would feel any type of way. Like, I would have to make it about them for me to feel some type of way. And if I'm cool with my experience and what's happening and it is what it is, then it doesn't matter what they think or how they see things. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon where I share exclusive content, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. It was such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a white heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.